This is now an update, and I missed. I was supposed to do on 25th of December, but I went for a holiday. Now it is 9th of January. But anyway, the place is getting greener here in the permaculture site in Maralal, and I want to take you around and show you and tell you what's going on and what's the changes. We can start with this one. This one has the sweet potatoes, and then it has grown a lot of wild amaranth, and the wild amaranths are now been harvested, but can now be removed to plant other things. Generally here it's a very hot place. I've seen this was a lot of sand, and on its own it's not really doing that well. It has improved when I put some manure and sawdust. Then if we come to this location, it's now getting dry. Some of the leaves that are yellow are the beans, which are getting mature, but also some of the pumpkins are getting very dry. So here we have not had water for a few days, and it's now starting to affect some areas, and especially where it is affecting, my compost is ready, so I'll be spreading it here. I've not yet done so. And you can see here the skumawiki, the kales are a bit tired. All things that is growing is a bit tired. And then on the other side, here I decided to make like there's a lot of climbing species coming up on the fence, so I've just put some wires so that it will become a shade in this corner. Nice place to be and relax. And here you can see the shamba from here. So on the other side, on this side where there's some shade, there's a big difference now from here. So here where we have shade, maybe also the soil, but I believe it's the shade. It's making a big difference now, and it's January, it's the hottest month of the year. This one in February will be so hot. So I see shade makes a difference. The trees is important to mix crop with other things. Because here they've been watered the same, but the skumawiki is really healthy, the beans are healthy, everything are healthy. Even there was a pineapple that I planted here. It's now getting nice green and surviving well. So in this place, skumawikis are really healthy. Other things are coming up, and it's starting to become green. Actually, you can see the rest of the shamba is getting green in many places. You see it has a good result here, and the only thing now is to put my compost to speed up things. Even this one and the oats that I'm growing for seed, they are okay. I left the banki for insect repellent properties, but I will be removing pole to make space for the oats to grow really well. Here we have a wild tomato, and it's doing well, although when the tomatoes are now getting ready, they are eaten by birds, so I might harvest them when they are not. It's a yellow cherry tomato species brought by birds. I'll be putting more manure here, more compost. Then we have a place where I was digging deep, putting manure and other things, and I've put tree tomato fruit, and it's growing really healthy. And also there is a Suspania growing here, and it shows this place is really fertile. and I'll be copying this technique to actually make a pit and put a lot of manure to plant things, certain things, especially trees. Because this Hispania is only like 1 month old, so it means this place is really fertile. Because I have others that haven't even reached this size in 6 months. Yeah, so other things are coming up. I've been planting beans here and minji and other things. I can continue up. On this side, it's still not really doing that good, but it's doing okay. I have my butternut pumpkin coming up. By the way, the butternut pumpkin in this side is starting to give fruits now, and the ones that are coming up are healthy, really healthy. So I expect quite a good harvest, unless something will eat the fruits. Then it seems this place is not really doing that well that I expected, and I believe I planted too many sunflowers, so the sunflower is taking over, and it is said to inhibit other things growing, so I might remove a few. Maybe I'll remove the small ones and leave the big ones to grow, so that the other ones will get more space. So, because here the minji is not so healthy, and even the peas are not so healthy. Even my popcorns are not really thriving so much. This place is still green, and this is still from rain, and it was not raining a lot, but it came into this swale, so it's still green, the grass and whatever. And I haven't watered the grass. Also, that is coming up is banana, and I've also planted butternut pumpkin around, and they seem to be a very good combo, and I will become doing that again. I have another two, and I have another 2 bananas coming up. We have potatoes, viazi, and they are doing well, although there are some weeds here and that I have let to grow. But generally now they are flowering, and they are quite good in size. Here it hasn't really dried so much like other places. You can find maize here and there, but they are doing okay. And inside is a few cabbages, and they're also doing quite well. They actually like the shade of the viazi for the moment. And then in the other bed I also have a lot of cabbages. They are doing well. And you see a lot of banki and other weeds that are beneficial. I let it to be very bushy because I've seen the hotness here actually helps to be bushy. Then we have a really nice result here for a mixture of my popcorn seeds together with they seem to grow really well with these beans. This bean is a bigger black bean, but they are really doing well. So I'll not be growing in this area. I'll not be growing popcorns with minji again, and I'll not be planting as many sunflowers as I did. But they're really healthy. And new beds are coming up with more maize and more viazi. And we can also see on this side, I've seen also in some areas it's not bad to have some pumpkins. They give shade and make the place green a bit. So I'll be continuing to do that. Other things are coming up. Generally, I'll be putting a lot of compost and more organic material, more mulching. My grass is now finished. It has really helped me. It was only the grass from within and the grass that grew in the place as I left it not to be disturbed. Then in my mid-swale, that is like not really a swale now, but it is more of another garden bed with a shade. It's really doing well. A lot of beans, carrots here, and onions, and even you can see here is beetroots. So many things. So I've come to see beans and peas and carrots and even cabbages here is not bad. They do well in the shade because of the hot place. And of course other trees are coming up. Actually here all of a sudden there's one Spania that haven't grown a lot, but all of a sudden it has grown a lot. Probably because of I believe now when all the other species are coming up, they are helping the soil to be broken, because the soil here is very, very tough for the species to grow. So I'll be continuing in these places, as I said, to grow those things, and even I will be planting more pumpkins here and there. They are growing really well here, and they really have a market. And it's the butternut pumpkin especially. So even here it's getting greener. Then we have a bed that I initially wanted to make for spinach. We have spinach and skumawiki only, but I decided to also grow a lot of cabbages, and the cabbages are doing really well. They are healthy, even there's skumawiki. And also here is a lot of beneficial weeds, and I let them to grow, especially banki, because they create some shade and windbreak, and they repel insects because of the smell. Even garlics, some of them are really healthy now. Some garlic. Yeah. So more spinach and skumawiki. So they're coming up quite okay. And also inside I have planted some pawpaws, and they're healthy. They're healthy. Some of them, one of them is really, really healthy. Cabbages are really healthy. Then we have in this place we also have the moringa trees. They are doing really well here, and some other things. But generally in these beds that doesn't have a lot of shade, there's some specific things that I've come to see do well. Cabbages is not very bad. So more moringa, more pawpaws. And then if we can continue to see the bed for nyanya. It's also tungai. So then I have a bed for especially tomatoes. They're coming up. They are now flowering, and a few of them have started to show some seeds. They're doing well, and they are grown here with radishes. They are grown here with dania and some other things. And actually the one I planted from seeds are also really healthy. Some of them are from transplanting, others from seeds. So some of them are a bit tired, so, and they will be given some compost now. And inside here I grow a lot of, in the middle I grow a lot of Suspania to help to break the hardness of the soil, and also for getting a good shade faster. The red shares are really growing fast. I'm using the leaves. These ones are the radishes. And I'm using the leaves together with skumawiki, with the garlic, to be eaten well. And then we also have some moringas growing here inside, and these are some kind of bean. I don't remember the name now. Then inside here, here you have a pawpaw coming up from seed. So I did a mistake first. I dried my seeds for the pawpaw, and I have stopped doing that, and I've got good results. I'm planting them as soon as possible, and that's what I've learned about it. It's supposed to be done. So a lot of pawpaws are coming up. It's a very cheap way of growing them, and they're growing really well here. And I've taken fruits from here, although not many are growing them, but I've eaten some fruits from them, and they are really, really healthy. Really, really tasty here. A lot of sugar. While the one from the highlands, this is a hot place. The one from the cold place, they're a bit bitter compared to here. So I've also put another structure for shade and planted minji and beans and other things. Other trees are coming up well, like this sanatoi. And other things are growing well. Here's a pumpkin. They're doing well together. There's also a lot of vegetables, beetroots, dania, carrots, and onions. And even here we have a bed of tomatoes growing really, really well. It's a bit thick right now. I'll be weeding pole, and it's the radishes that I'm removing first. But for now I like it to be very thick, so that it keeps it breaks the soil and it keeps some moisture in the ground. So that it keeps some shade for the ground and some cooler temperature. Then I decided in the edges I'm planting this species that I just cut, and I put it in the ground, and it's just to mark the edge, and also to give some cool environment. And they flower a lot. So even here we have other things coming up, newly planted, beans and peas and other things, sunflowers. And here we have a bed which is healthy under now this tree of sanatoi that I want now actually to have a lot of, because it creates a good shade and a good area where things grow. Here I have nursery for a lot of different seeds coming up. Some leukinia trees, some caliandra. This one is a passion, and then a lot of pawpaws and other things. So they're really healthy. But generally, generally I see it's very, very important to build the soil more and more and more, and to protect it. is the bed that I initially had for transplanting, putting seeds for transplanting different things. But right now I've left a few of everything, and I'm doing quite okay. Although the top shade will have to be lifted because it has been a bit short. So we're lifting the shade, but things are doing well. And I have had a lot of coriander. Actually, I've seen coriander is a really, really nice plant that I will be growing as a weed plant and as a cash crop, because it can be collected in a very short time, harvested in a very short time, and it has a good market. And right now seeds are starting to come from it, so this will be left to produce seeds that I need. Then we have collected more manure. This is especially to make compost, and we have been making the compost from the cactus, mixed with some sawdust, and it's really, really healthy now. It's really nice. It has gone for 2.5 weeks. In the beginning we just tilled it every week, then twice a week, and then thrice a week, so we increased. But it's really healthy. It has come good soil. Even the thorns, they are soft and they will not create any problems. It really smells well, and yeah, it has a lot of fiber because of the sawdust. So we have continued, and we'll be making another place for more cactus and manure to be mixed and decomposed. And then along where I wanted a dam, we are now preparing so that we will plant. And I left manure on top here for quite some time, and I've seen the things that I'm growing has been affected because of that. A lot of wadudu are coming, so I'll have to cover this with some soil, but generally they are doing really well. And I've planted here some mewa, yeah, some sugar canes, and some pumpkins, and some beans, and some watermelons, because I've seen those things do very well. You can see the ones that are a bit older, this one's like 2.5 months. The pumpkins are really healthy here, and even watermelons are doing okay, although right now they need some more water and some more manure. The trees are continuing to grow, and especially this one is really big now and create a good shade. We have also made another shade here and started to plant more beans and other things. Here things didn't grow well. I'm improving the soil. We're collecting more and more of these ones, and especially we want the big ones now, because they're really helping to get the water deep in the ground. Then I have some beds for tree seeds. They're coming up nicely. Just building more and more. And then with the bees, they are still not occupied here. Maybe until next season of rain, which will be in April. Then here I've also put a structure for shade, and other things are growing. And Now, you see, this one is not all that healthy, but the seeds are coming up. This pumpkin was disturbed because here the root comes from. It was weeded, removed the grass that we have been using for mulching, and when that happened, this pumpkin has become very tired, and even if since it is not been able to produce a good fruit because it is now starting to be eaten by insects. Likely that happens when they become weak. The insect can penetrate the cover. Then I'm growing some other things. Here are some seeds for a wild plant that give flower fast, and I believe it's a nitrogen fixer and can help stabilize the soil. And we have other things. This one is very, very interesting. This is a mulberry. I just put a stick in the ground and been watering while I watered other things, and it started to germinate after 1 month. So right now, here we have some land not used, and from what I've learned in that corner and down where I put the dam, I've got the idea to plant trees, and letting now pumpkin to grow around and far from it, to utilize, to give some shade and utilize the same water that we're watering. So I've been digging deep, and then I've been putting manure and some woody materials and some other soil, the soil from the Karasi. And I might, and then here's one of those places, and then I put the seeds for pawpaw and for malenki, the pumpkin, and maybe even some watermelons. And I don't know if I talked about this the last time, but I've got a drip irrigation system. It's also really helping me, but I can only open for like this size is 500 liters, and after 2 hours it is emptied. So I just open and let it to drip like half of it, and once in a while, and I will stop doing that. I will now fill it with water, and then have it for reserve, because I'm seeing the water from the pipe are getting less and less. So some days I go and water by hand, and other days I water by the pipe that drips. But generally it's also helping. And the place is getting greener, and now I got some results, and I'll be continuing to grow more things, improving the soil, really improving the soil in the new beds. And I will be growing where there is a lot of sun. I'll be growing tomatoes with skumawiki, and onions and garlic and coriander. All those I'll be growing just like a mixture, because I like mixing a lot of things. I've seen other permaculture guys not really mixing too many things in one bed, but I like doing that. And then where things are shaded, the beans grow very well, the spinaches grow very well, the cabbages grow very well, the beans grow, the the beetroot and the carrots. So those are the things that I will be planting there. And those that I've mentioned is the one that I will focus on to sell for the community, sell for the local people here. And other things that I've grown is more for the research that I will be planting in other areas. Okay, so I hope you learned something new. Talk to you next time.